Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to introduce Tommy Fleetwood to the interview room. Tommy, thanks for joining us. Here for the 152nd Open, of course. How have preparations been going?
Yeah, good. It's been nice to see the course. I feel like we've had really nice weather, really, for the 3 days. I think I was here in 2016, but remembered so little about it. So it was really good to get out there and play. And the Open's always such a busy week with a really good atmosphere, even from the practice days. So just getting into the swing of things and getting into the mix of that has been great.
Fantastic question here in the front.
Hey, Tommy. 2 golf course questions for you. One, thoughts on the postage stamp. I saw you hit a sand wedge there today. And then how many people have asked you how to play Le Golf National, and how much do you anticipate that will be happening?
Well, I think the majority of the best par threes in the world, there's very few that are probably over 150 yards, and I think the postage stamp's another one of those. I think should be a simple wedge shot, but it just doesn't always work out that way. And I think the punishment for a lack of concentration or a slightly bad shot is obviously very severe. But I think that's what makes it so one of those unique holes and one of those that'll keep people talking all the time. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic hole because it's also there's a huge amount of acceptance that goes into not trying to stiff a 100-yard shot, really. So I think that, along with holes like the 12th at Augusta, they're all like a mental game as well with you, where you feel like you should probably be able to do better, but a 3 is a good score. I'm looking forward to the Olympics. I've been very hit and miss with Le Golf National over the years, but I have had my good times, and I think focus on those. So excited to qualify again and go and play on a course that I've played a lot of rounds on. I haven't been there for a few years now, but I think going there with a lot of similar to the Ryder Cup. I think I remember playing the Ryder Cup there, and it was my first one, I sort of drew on all the familiar things of having played the golf course and the people that you play with. And nobody's really asked me anything yet, so I'll just keep stum until then.
Question number 1 here. Thanks.
Tommy, every year you come back to the Open, it's another year waiting for an English winner. This week after the Euros final, obviously England looking for a boost. Is that something you'd love to do to bring some joy after the disappointment for the country on Sunday?
Well, yeah, both individually and for the country, I guess. I would love to. I love this tournament so much, and it has been a long time since there's been an English winner. Like from an individual standpoint, I just love. I love the tournament and the times that I've been in contention here, and the support that I've always had, and what the tournament means to me. I've always loved those times and look back on those with a lot of fun memories, really. So I always get excited about coming to play this tournament, and yeah, sure, if it came to it and that was something that gave the country a little boost, then great. But yeah, I mean, we did great in the football. It was a shame in the end, but still, I think the excitement surrounding it was great for everyone.
Question from Ewan, please.
Tommy, can I ask you about Scotty and winning 6 times by this point in the year? I mean, as a fellow player and competitor, can you articulate how difficult that is and how impressive that number of victories at this point is?
Well, yeah, I'd be happy with 1. So he's the best player in the world, and I think for us as fellow players, I guess I think he's great for us in terms of somebody that we want to catch up to and watch him and be motivated by what he's doing. He's having the most incredible season, and I think winning 6 times, as well as being up there in contention as many times as he has been, as consistently as he has been over the last 2 years, is phenomenal golf in a game that is, as unpredictable as it gets in a way. And I think, especially with I feel like I say it all the time, I think the standard is getting higher and higher and higher, and the margins are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So to be up there all the time, and then on top of that going on a winning streak the way that he has, is incredible, really. It's amazing, and like I say, as from a player standpoint, I think just having someone like that to chase and to look up to and to drive you forward is a great thing for us.
Question for number 3, please.
Hi, Tommy. Just a couple of questions. Players in the last few weeks have been asked about where like a gold medal ranks in like a career. Is it like compared to a claret jug or like another major, another tournament? Because it's not like a traditional Olympic sport, I suppose. So I wonder where, in your mind, where like a gold medal ranks in the game.
I think from my generation upwards, we never had the Olympics as something that we would ever dream of winning. So, for us, with it not being an Olympic sport for the majority of our childhood, that was something that we would never aim for. So I think it would only be natural for us to, not necessarily think about it or hold it on a pedestal just while it's started. But I think the Olympics for me is, sport in its purest form. I think it's the most amazing event in the world. And I think over time, I think now for kids growing up that will see, that will watch the Olympics, watch golf in the Olympics, I think the last 2 champions or the gold medal winners for us in Justin and Xander, I think are fantastic for the game. And I'm pretty sure kids will start growing up dreaming of it. And who knows if it'll go in level with a major or above majors or below. I don't know. I know that for me, it obviously came in later than majors. So for me, I grew up and I was always practicing on the range as a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old. I wanted to win the Open. The putts that I hold were to win the Open or to win the Masters, and that was just what I grew up with. So that was natural. But if I was to win a gold medal, it would go there alongside any other achievement that I've ever had. So it really is special, and it is the most special sporting event in the world, I think. And I think for us, we just didn't grow up with that, but I'm sure kids will from now on, and it'll be very high.
And just finally, it's a bit of a random one, but how would you rank your top 3 open rotor golf courses?
What would I rank as the top 3?
Yeah, so maybe your top 3 favourites.
Well, I would obviously pick the 2 at home, so I would have Birkdale and Hoylake. That's just me from a personal standpoint and the support that I get at those. And then, you can name a top 3 without St Andrews probably, but that's just me. I grew up in Southport, so Birkdale can never not be on it. St Andrews can never not be on it, and for me, Hoylake and the memories that I'll have there, and that again being so close to home, I couldn't really pick any other 3.
Joy, please.
Tommy, Yen is back on the back for you. When something like that happens to a person who is so close to you, so young, what kind of perspective for life it changes for you?
Well, yeah, I'm wondering if caddying for me caused him any issues and gave him heart problems. It was pretty, it was a bit of a shock. And I think it does put things into perspective. I think, I spoke to him most days through the whole process, if you like. Ian's obviously very close to me and he's much more than a caddy to me. So I think caring about him first and more than anything and his family was that always came first. And for him to have got back this quick, I actually, I told him I didn't think he had a chance really of caddying in these events. So it's amazing that he's got back and done so well, and to see how determined and motivated he was really to get back to normal life. And he's done amazing. And I think for him it's been really cool, just the messages of support that he had, people from the tour and everything texting him quite a lot. And I think it was really lovely for him to see just how popular he is, and what an impact he's had on a lot of people. And I think for everything, he's back now and he's great and he's done amazing and he's healthy. But I think that side of things was really cool for him, and I felt great for him that he's come through it.
And from my amateurish point of view, I was thinking that maybe after the Open is the time when he comes back on the back for you. But he did that almost 2 weeks before that time. How important is it for you to have him on the bag this week?
Well, I've obviously had him on the bag for a very long time, and having him back feels great. I think last week, felt very normal felt very comfortable. And I think when you've had someone by your side for that long, I don't think like a 3-month period, has a huge effect on the way that you've always worked. So it's great to have him back. He loves the Open, and we've done well in this event in prior years. So just being back to work together and going out tomorrow is very exciting, and it'll be great. And it's great to have him back.
Question from number 2.
What did you most miss not having him those 3 months?
It was quieter. I think every experience that I've had on a golf course for the last 8 years has been, he's been there to experience it with me, and it just becomes so comfortable, becomes so normal, and obviously when that changes, the way that you work, and I was unbelievably lucky with the guys that stepped in and caddied for me over that time, over those 3 months. But there's obviously, it's different, and I think whether it be majors, whatever it will be, I think you have a certain way of working, and you go through a routine every day, and I wasn't there really for it. I think that was the main thing. I think just the routine of it all, conversations that would just be about a certain shot that I might not think about normally. You either talk differently about it, or I have to figure it out on my own, things like that. So that was it mainly.
What is your level of frustration, scale 1 to 10, say, in not having one for a while?
I try not to dwell on it too much. I get frustrated like anybody else. I get down on myself like anybody else. I don't win anywhere near as much as I would like, and I'm probably not in a position in the game where I want to be, even though I'm doing perfectly well. It's not where I believe I can be, and the results don't always show that. So. Like I say, though, I try not to dwell on it. I try and focus on positives and what I need to do to actually get to where I want to be, or contend in tournaments and win tournaments, and try and focus on that every day. But yeah, it's the game beats you up. The game's annoying. Even when you play well, you come off frustrated because you might not have you might have missed a putt, or you might have finished a shot or two behind where you thought you could. But there's always you always start a new week fresh, and I try to focus on that as much as possible, really.
Number 1, please, in the middle.
Yeah, just picking up on that, Tommy. Have there been any particular technical or maybe psychological focuses to get yourself over the hump a bit more, because you put yourself in so many great positions and you play a lot of great golf without those results?
No, I mean, I don't know. I think as sports people, we try and reinvent ourselves pretty much every day. There's always different things you're trying. Honestly, I've been playing really, really well this year, and I actually haven't been in contention that much. I think one of those things is the standard of golf. I think the margins for us, and that's why I think it's unbelievably impressive what Scotty's doing. And yeah, I haven't actually been in contention that much this year. So I've had decent results without amazing results, but I feel like I've been playing sort of as well as I have done in the past, just without it quite happening. And I think the first step for me would be getting into those positions, starting tournaments a bit hotter. I think, even last week in Scotland, I got very, very close to being in contention, and that kind of just slipped away in sort of one hole on 18 on Saturday, and kind of naturally just, struggled a bit on Sunday, but I was never quite sort of there where I could get into the mix of things and feel that pressure. So continuously for me, trying. The hardest thing, I think, for all of us is dealing with our own expectations. And if, everybody's is going to be high, but dealing with that in the best way possible and going out there with a accepting attitude, continue to work hard, and eventually, hopefully it will all come together. But I think, I've been doing a lot of good things and just been that sort of step or two behind so far this year. But who knows if that changes this week.
And obviously last year everyone was so desperate for you to do well with it being at home for you. Is it a bit liberating this time around to not have that home pressure, I guess? But also, would you have any advice for the likes of Bob McIntyre and the other Scottish guys about the pressure and expectation of it being your home Open?
Well, I think, yeah, being at home brings its own pressures. I think on your, you put it on yourself as much as anything. You want to do well so badly, and it does mean that a bit more to you, no matter what anybody says when it's that close to home and you know that it has such an emotional connection to you. It does mean that bit more. But at the same time, they're the best times in your life. I mean, when do you ever get that kind of support and a crowd picking you up, whether it's going good or bad, and carrying you as much as they can do, and the receptions that you get throughout the whole round is honestly, it's the most special thing, and I'm so lucky to get to experience that. And I think, you just always, keep that in mind, really, because it's amazing being able to play a tournament so close to home and it being the Open as well, and the support you get. And I just, look back on it with a lot of happy memories, and I enjoyed it a lot.
We'll finish with the questions in the room, starting with number 2, please.
Yeah, Tommy, just to follow up on British winners of the Open, I wonder if you have any sort of explanation as to why you think that might be, 25 years since, why you think it might be that gap?
I don't know, because we've had a lot of good players, and it just doesn't seem to have happened. But who knows if one breaks through and then there comes a flood of British winners. I think you look at tournaments that didn't quite go the way of some British players in the past. I think there's definitely players, guys that have done enough and it just didn't happen. It's just one of those strange runs, if you like, that hopefully finishes sooner rather than later. But it's a strange one, because you think, for all of us, we grow up, especially on the amateur circuit, playing a lot of links golf, and we've had some phenomenal golfers over the years. And I guess like it's one tournament a year, so you get one opportunity a year. So it's not that easy, and there's always a lot of great golfers, but it's hard. I mean, you can't really put any rhyme or reason to it. It's just the way it's been. But like I say, hopefully that streak can end and we can put it right.
Adam in the front, please.
Hi, Tommy. Just wondering how you get still motivated after 14 years being a professional player?
Well, I still love golf. I think golf is my absolute favourite thing to do. And I still, I don't believe that I've reached my potential at all in what I can do, and I think I'm still very driven by that. I still wake up every day and want to be the best player I can be, and I still want to find things that will make me better and what I can improve on. There's still so many tournaments that I enjoy playing, tournaments that I want to win, and until I'm sure one day, I might wake up and I might not have the same enthusiasm for it, but it's never left me yet, and it continues. I'll wake up tomorrow excited to play the Open, and whether I play good or bad, I might be disappointed, but I'll probably want to go and practice afterwards and see if I can get better. And like I say, it's still my favourite thing to do. I love the game.
Sean, thanks.
You mentioned how you feel that the standard of play has risen and that the margins of error have shrunk. I'm curious from a player's perspective, like where that evidence exists, or when you say that, what comes to mind as an example of, oh, that is the margins getting tinier, or that is the standard raising?
I feel like when and I could be completely wrong. It's obviously always just a sense that you get. Obviously, this year, so we haven't actually played this year. There's been a lot of events without a cut, which is fine. But I still think you get some courses that are unbelievably difficult, and the cut is the one that impresses me the most, because I think last year, Quail Hollow might have been a 2-under cut. I mean, it's ridiculous, like that 65 players have shot better than 2-under over 2 days. I think that's quite often more impressive than the winning score. And then you might get a course that's scoreable, and then you end up looking at the winning score at John Deere, or where 10th place was. I just think that on the most difficult courses, I think the the bottom end is better. So the bad scores aren't that bad, and it's very easy to shoot a bad score, very easy to make bogeys. And when you get a course that's more scoreable, I think the scoring goes through the roof. I think you look at a lot of the amateurs coming through, and you look at how ready they seem to be to play on the tour. I think that's just an example of the strength in depth of the amount of players that are able to compete and are just ready to take your spot at any given time. So yeah, I think there's obviously a huge combination, and the thing is, golf will continue to improve. We have everything possible to make us the best players we can be, and everybody's using it. So I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. But yeah, just competitive golf at a professional level, no matter what sort of level you're at, it just seems to be getting stronger and stronger.
Louine, to close us out, please.
Hi, Tommy. You're talking about your admiration for Scotty and how, you know, he's won all these tournaments and everything. Is the one thing that he does, and it could be to do with his golf or the way he approaches it, that you would like to copy? You can choose one thing.
Well, I'd love to play like him. That would be number one. But I think the way that he manages his golf ball and the way that he manages himself are probably the two most impressive things about him. He has so much control in the way that he plays a golf course, in the way he positions himself, the way that he plays, the way that he doesn't force anything. And on top of that, just I think obviously if he's won 6 times, mentally he's doing the right things, because there's no way that he's played great, you know, throughout that period. But I think he's clearly managing himself and his golf ball better than anybody else on the planet by a clear margin at the moment. So I think those two things are obviously stand out.
Tommy, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank
We
you.
wish you the best of luck this
Thanks.
week.